Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted in to the house under the blood of Yahusha HaMashiach. I welcome you this evening. Interesting. Yeah, I do have to I have to think about the words of our brother Don P. They don't believe you until that instead of the bullet leaves the chamber, it's until that drone takes flight. And boy oh boy, what a time that we are in uh right now, family. I didn't go on earlier. Some brothers and sisters that asked, hey, you gonna come on? I do try to honor the Shabbat, but this one was, yeah, we have to kind of get a an understanding of what's going on. I know a lot of folks are gonna be coming throughout the night with other specials, which is, I want to see what they have to say. I kind of want to understand their synopsis. I just want to come to you with a more of a military synopsis. So before I do, thank you, family, for your support of this channel. You can support this channel at $COVAWK. That's $COVAWK. Your support helps these special lives happen. Well, that and the Middle East, going to war. So there are things going on here, family. I want to try to make sure that I can get these images shared. But if you look right now all across the social media spaces and places, you'll see Sky News, you'll see Al Jazeera, you'll see other places on out there. I don't need to be the one to, show you all of the constant reporting that's going on. But I want you to understand. I'm going to give you a couple breakdowns today because I'm not going to be on for that long. But I want to give a couple of quick breakdowns and synopsis of why it's happening, the timing of why it happened, and really what's going to be expected. What to expect in this next, not just couple of days, not really couple of weeks, to be honest, a couple of hours. Because you're going to have to understand there's a political situation that's going to start to come up. And that political situation is going to lead into hallelujah. Thank you for your gifts, family. Hallelujah. I truly appreciate it. They helped me to get this commentary out here, especially tonight as things are going crazy in the Middle East. There is going to be a fallout. And that fallout is going to take a repercussion that it's never happened before. And I want us to go into this because I want you to really understand what's happening. A lot of these things, I have to be very, very careful in how I'm able to really let things be known. This was something that I was heavily engaged in during my time in the military. When I was deployed to that region, I was able to see firsthand of what those drone strikes did to infrastructure. And I was able to see the efficacy of different, quote unquote, air defense systems. So, yeah, I would be considered a subject matter expert. I don't taunt it, I don't flaunt it, but I lived it. I was there, I've seen it. Matter of fact, I've had them fly over me. And the funny thing is, let me measure my words carefully. I'm sorry, family. I have to really measure my words very, very, very carefully because a lot of this stuff is still, sensitive. I'll say that the information may still be sensitive, and the good thing is I haven't had to worry about doing any of this in over 3, 4 years. But it was interesting to see the parts to bring the parts even back to the United States. Yep, I did that. The amount of devastation that is done with a $300 piece of equipment of mesh and styrofoam. That's literally what it is. It's mesh and styrofoam in a battery compartment with an explosive casing at the begin or at the front of it. And that thing does damage that you have millions and millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars being projected. That is going to be there's an economic toll that happens. Don't think that it's just, well, things are getting shot up or blown up or things of that nature. No, there's an economic turmoil because I also got a story. Shout out to Sister Fatea. She had just sent me something that Yemen was, or excuse me, not Yemen, but Iran had captured an Israeli linked ship. That's still something. I need those reports. If you have any reports, you can bring them on in and we could talk about it. I know there's a lot of things going on. Um, Sky News is having their thing. They're on live. Just depends on what they want to show. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. They're going to give you that skyline of Tel Aviv, and you know that whatever loop video that they have is going to be the loop video. You got to understand how warfare reacts because if you see that place, that Eastern Mediterranean nation, have what? Explosions and impacts, and guess what? That is a psyche damage. That is catastrophic to the psyche. And now we're starting to see, because now there's been different phases to this. It has metastasized, because we would tend to look at, if they, as in Iran, would then team, or target something in the Middle East, the order of battle, right? The way that they would fight, would that you would see movements of large equipment from out of the Iranian um, port of entries, usually about a week or so beforehand. It'll go into Iraq. It would go into Syria. It would go into, places. Ships would go through, and about a month or so later, a drone strike was being staged, and they would launch drones from Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, and they would always head from, especially those from the Yemen, from the Houthis. I was over in Riyadh, so it would just go over Riyadh. You start seeing some things blow up, fall apart, things of that nature. You understand that not only are they're launching drones, but they're also launching intercontinental ballistic missiles. And here's the crazy thing about this: they're launching it in waves. It's going to be a wave after wave after wave, and we're seeing actually the first wave that's getting ready to hit, and that's been hitting, and then there's other waves going on. You got to understand, it's like this: move the pawn pieces out, which is your drones, and then from your drones you're going to have other intercontinental ballistic missiles. Oh, and best believe and best understand that there are going to be some Iranian proxies that are just going to be shooting just because. Window of opportunity. Let me go ahead and pop some shots, because why? Listen, everything is going crazy, bonkers. Not only that, now you also have Palestinians that are there that can see that, look, this is a window of opportunity. So there are different security elements that's there with that Eastern Mediterranean nation, that this is something that they're in uncharted waters, because the way that this setup was, especially with this week, it was about 14 days. It was right at the beginning of Ramadan, or ending, right? You had your Eid al-Fitr, which is your traditional dinners, right? You have to eat, you have to reconstitute in order for you to do jihad, in order for you to do the struggle. And now the struggle was a perfect element, because why? Because a consulate, which is an embassy, this is a diplomatic mission. That's how consulates work. They're diplomatic missions. And that diplomatic mission was targeted. That's something that you never, ever, ever have happen, because even in the consulates, you're always going to have military personnel. They're called defense attaches. Let me break this on down to you. This is what happened. This is what brought us here, right? What's the road to war? Well, here's the road to war. In the immediate um, time frame, right? This is the road to war. It was one of those, hey, let me just give you a cheap shot, right? It's those sucker punches that's been happening in New York. This is what it was. It was a sucker punch. Okay, you want to punch me? Because why? If you're literally sitting in a consulate, you're there just pushing papers. You're there doing, military cooperation type exercises and things of that nature, and you're meeting and greeting with other um, dignitaries, or excuse me, host nation military personnel. You're also visiting with other military defense attaches and other dignitaries of other countries at that consulate. So do you see how this thing could have gotten really, really bad if, let's say that there was, I don't know, another, semi-neutral nation like a Sweden or a Norway, or a Denmark were to have been visiting, and just because why? Just to try to keep normalized relations with military, and they got popped in the same go round. That's why it's supposed to be neutral ground. And the problem that everything had, especially over the course of this week, it wasn't the fact that, you know, um, people acknowledged that it was wrong. It was the fact that in the United Nations, right, in the international sphere of the United Nations, there's no Security Council resolution, there's no UN type of a resolution or anything else that decried a lack of international diplomacy. And now they're either shooting fireworks or they're blowing something up over in my neck of the woods. I told y'all, family, you need to see the Civil War. On top of that, you also had heavy things going on in the Golan Heights. You had an offensive going on, and there and what was going on was that the Eastern Mediterranean nation had stalled out. They stalled out. Right? They wanted to get their campaign up and on the road, and the U.S. said, "No, we can't help you. It's too politically sensitive." And it still is, even with all the things going on here, because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of folks here in the United States that are going to be pressing and say, no, that's not our fight. The way that you all handled it, the way that you all never went and sat down with the peace terms, that's not the fight. And on top of that, and you now have a dedicated Russian presence that you haven't seen before. And this creates that momentum, which is a negative momentum for the United States. So the TTPs, the tactics, techniques, and procedures was different this time. There was no, cargoes and everything else going into Syria or Iraq from Iran. There was no shipments going into Yemen, and things of that nature to get offloaded so it could be deployed. No, to me, it looked as though the call was made to the proxies. We're about to launch, and it was like, hey, it's a BYOD. Bring your own drone. And this is what's going to end up happening for these next couple of, honestly, hours or days. Because let me tell you, the amount of drones that Iran has is unfathomable. Is unfathomable. They have, and they've been producing Since 2018, 2019, they've been producing millions and millions and millions and millions of drones. That's all they do. They just get the gunpowder and just millions and millions of drones. Here, China, you want some? Here, Russia, you want some? Here, North Korea, you want some? Millions and millions of drones. And guess what? Do you understand why Russia is devastating Ukraine? Because it was back in late 2022, Russia said, yeah, we need a couple 100,000 drones on order. Ukraine said, or excuse me, Iran said, I got you. They had to flip them drones. the D boy, they're real D boys out there in the Middle East. They're real D boys and they're real greasy about it. Man, step to my trunk, man. I got you, man. Putin, what you want? He's scratching his nose, flicking his nose. What you want, Putin? Man, I got the Shahid. I got the you got some other things right here. I remember there's about three types of drones that they had, but the most popular had been the Shahi 136s. And it could range. This is the thing. This is why they say it's a couple hours, because it could range from 200 to 300 kilometers an hour. So you set the drones and then you set the rockets, and then you see what I'm saying? Everything can come through layered. And for that reason, you've had the airspace in Jordan being shut off. But again, I've always told you this, Jordan is a proxy Arab nation. Everyone knows in the Middle East that Jordan was basically the Arabian fall guy for the Eastern Mediterranean nation. Everyone knows that. And they've been trying to get King Abdullah to, you know, um, hey, which way are you going to go? If you're going to go here, you're going to die here. You're gonna be deleted here, and then that's just gonna pass on through. Whatever you had for Jordan is gonna be gone, and it's just gonna be Palestine. And they said, "Hey, we're all in with the West for real." They threw their lot. They're like, "We're all in with the West," and even Saudi Arabia is like, "Man, y'all sure?" Even Qatar and Bahrain are trying to run to BRICS. You realize that Bahrain has the Fifth Fleet, and Bahrain closed and Qatar closed its airspace. And when it does that, it also closes its airspace for military personnel. So they have to fly missions and try to interdict this in like Iraq and in Syria. That's what they're doing right now. So is this going to be an interesting night? To me, yes. This is why I came on. You can support this channel, $COVAWK, $COVAWK. Hallelujah. And we spoke about this. So I don't want anyone to be like have anxiety or be rattled over this. No, listen, you shouldn't be rattled, because to me, I was kind of like, well, is it really going to happen or not? And they were adamant. There are news reports about this. They were adamant. And I wanted to, if I could go on in here, I wanted to show All right. Yeah, I think I can. All right. Let me go ahead. I'm going to show this screen. While I've been doing that, I've been multitasking, trying to get these screens over to you. So this is on Twitter. Okay. So you think that them folks over there did not want to see what they're seeing right now? No, they wanted to see it. No, they wanted to see it. There's another footage I'm trying to show. Some of them will pop out. Some of them, they really, yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mess. So it's a little hard for me to show some of these images and some of these feeds. I'm just getting them straight from Twitter. And these images are going to be coming in all night. So what I just showed you, that was in Tehran. That was in Tehran. So you can't tell me that they weren't wanting to see this. See, what I was trying to tell you, that there was let me bring it on back here. Okay. I would say in the last hours leading up to this, there was so many um disinformation, misinformation reports that was going on. There was a lot. And so, some of those reports that I was looking at was, Iran is going to, one of the people I was looking at on YouTube, he has some pretty good commentary, but he usually focuses on Ukraine. But he was saying, Iran was already negotiating strikes with the United States via like some country proxy. Because they needed to hit something, but it wasn't going to be very um, forceful. They were trying to say. And what was that? You want to know why that's for? Because they want to show Iranian people and Iranian proxies that oh, they're just trying to go through the motions. They're really not about that life like that. They're just going to do another big letdown like they did with, Qasem al Soleimani. And it's not going to be really anything. And, the difference between that strike and this one was, even though that strike did come out of Iran did coordinate with the US. So, so the troops had, I think, about an hour to leave the place where that was going to get targeted. That's why you didn't have any fatalities. Or I think they had one fatality, and that was with, you know, it was a defense contractor that had a heart attack. That was the only fatality, literally, a heart attack. Can't make it up because Iran had given them advance notice, stay away from here. This is where we're going to hit. And they literally asked, is this okay with you, or do you have a better target? Can't make it up. So a lot of people in Iran was very disillusioned because they're like, okay, what are they doing? They're just going to have the dirty work being done by the proxies, and that's it, and that's all that. And if they do have to get their quote unquote hands dirty, so when that occurred, a lot of folks in the government, and not just the government, a lot of the people, their citizens, were very disillusioned. And so when people talk about, especially in the Western media, they talk about, oh, well, Iran is they don't really have the support of the people. Let's see. Do I need to show you that again? No, they got the support of the people. It was just the fact that the people wanted something a little bit more painful, enough. They wanted to inflict something more painful. That was it. It's like you get a smack on the hand. Stop it. Don't do it again. And that's being forceful. Oh, the Iranian people were mad. They're like, that's it? That's all you get. It wasn't because of the regime, being weak and all this other stuff. No, the people wanted to have more of a forceful response from their leadership, and that response did not occur. And they had to deal with it. They had to deal with those reprisals. They had to deal with those crackdowns. They're like, look, if you're going to just, because here's the thing, the leadership in Iran is literally, they're old, right? There were the revolutionaries back in the 1970s. They got into power. They had a good life. They understood what it meant to rule. In their in the way that they're ruling, but that rulership, even though it's oppressive and repressive, once you get told by your your leaders that hey, our leaders, the way that this is bad because you have these US sanctions and you have this US stuff. Well, they're going to get tired of those excuses. Well, you're doing something about it with the proxies, so you mean to tell me you can't do anything now? There was a disconnect. It wasn't that folks were finding the US or the West favorable. Not at all. It was the fact that literally there was a disconnect because the younger generation, they wanted more action. This is a video of, it's poorly taken, but you'll start to see you hear the air sirens, and in the distance, yeah, sorry. Some of these videos that I find on Twitter are kind of garbage, so please bear in mind. Oh wow. Wait a second. I gotta show you this one. Because this is what they will not show you. They won't. Okay. You can please support this channel. Reason I'm saying this, family, is because I'm gonna show you some things, and you know, them folks is not trying to have you see this. Let me show you this.
يا اولاد يا اولاد يا اولاد يا ابوي على المكلتين على المكلتين خبط في دار يا اولاد يا اولاد يا اولاد يا ابوي على المكلتين على المكلتين خبط في دار يا اولاد.
I don't know what to tell you. That is a clip. The clip says that. Let me go back to it. That's fake, but let me see. That was a video that has shown. See these images, like with these laser beams and stuff like that. I don't think it's actually real. But these are the one video I showed you. It was a caption of an airstrike that was being done in um in the Eastern Mediterranean nation. No, that will not go on CNN. Absolutely not. Those are some impacts. Those were impacts. So, when they say, hey, there hasn't been any damage or there hasn't been any strikes, no, there's going to be strikes. And here's the thing, family, it's going to be more and more of that. It's going to be more and more of that. That's why I like um, Twitter. Shout out to Big Red. He puts me he puts me onto the social media game. But in all this, right, the USA will support. Booms and sirens. I'm going to share this with you. Let me go give you this because these are like up to the minute news stories that are getting updated like every 15 minutes just because of, how active the scene is, right? It's a war scene. Folks aren't going to bed. It's about 2 in the morning for them. Two, almost 3 in the morning. They're not going to bed. It's a war scene. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share this. No, I don't want a subscription. Booms and sirens in the Eastern Mediterranean nation after Iran launches ballistic missiles and drones in unprecedented attack. Updated 7:39. It was only updated less than 45 minutes ago. And they'll give their little spiel in their update. Did you see more? So what ends up happening is, even though the afterburn goes away, the projectile is still there. Even though the afterburn goes away, the projectile is still there. They're landing, and they're having catastrophic impact. What's going on? Okay, we kind of get the. Yeah, they could, yeah, U.S. and Britain are going to try to support Israeli defense. Yeah, I get it. I see it. You know, that sounds good. That sounds good and all. That sounds nice. But the problem, so, so I had to laugh at this one. I had to laugh at this one. I'm flipping through. There's some on some of the movie channels on cable. I'm looking and I'm like, so Stars is really playing Fifth Wave right now. Stars is really playing Fifth Wave right now. Now that we're getting, now we're seeing the first wave. I don't know. I just thought the irony was pretty funny. Like, Stars is playing Fifth Wave, and these folks are going through the first wave. And Tracy Brinson, yes, you have a great. It's to me, honestly, I believe that they're gonna let it happen. I believe that the Eastern Mediterranean nations gonna let some things go in. I believe they are, because why? You got to get more of the sympathy factor. They retaliated. Iran retaliated. It's like hooray, hooray, hooray. This is exactly what they needed. That's the long term political implication. Hooray, hooray, hooray. They got what they wanted. So now here it comes. They'll try to go through in a security resolution. They'll try to say, hey, we need to have a security resolution. We need to go and we need to vote on this. And then the rest of the world will be saying, you understand why they attacked, right? Because you literally international are violated international law. And they had every right to respond. They're not telling you that this is, you know, is this justified or legal? No, this is actually justified. It's actually legal. Believe it or not, it's actually legal. So now the international rule of law has been challenged because it's like, well, you're clearly showing that even though it's said as something that's supposed to be done, it's not really done. You're telling me that this is supposedly law and order and all the other stuff, but that wasn't legal. So when you do see, look, when the U.S. was like, "Hey, China asked Iran," Literally, the U.S. is asking China to ask Iran. That was reported on so many news outlets. I was floored. Tell them to stand down. Tell them to stand down. It's like, if you don't have the proper legal authorities to do what? To provide law and order, then guess what? Then that country has every right to retaliate. That's just how it is. They try to play around. The Ayatollah came with Loke Dog, had his baby pacifier necklace with the white wife beater, the khaki dickies, and the slippers. He had to sip on that. He had to sip on that Iranian 40. But to light this thing up. Hey, homie, you thought we weren't gonna blast you fools? say, say, say hello to Shah and Heed, all 136,000 of them. You like that, right, homie? I wouldn't be surprised if they were watching Don't Be a Menace. And they were talking about, we're going to do this to this nation. Happy birthday, homeboy. Happy birthday, homeboy. Oh, it's my birthday? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I got something for you. What? Oh, my goodness. I'm sure the Ayatollah was doing some air punching that day with the with their consulate being blown up, and the Cuba Gooding Jr. scene. The boys in the hood. I can't take it. Mm, oh, oh. You see the imams, punching the air in their clerical outfits. We got to do something. We got to ride on them fools. I know, but now it's not the time. We just got finished with Ramadan. We are so still faint. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't really make light of it, but it is really the truth. So now, look, all the nations that were, um, you notice a lot of nations were real quiet on that one. That was crazy to me. I've never seen, like, it was just like, everybody look at Ukraine. Everybody look at Ukraine now. Oh wow, look at what Russia's doing to Ukraine. Like, am I the only one seeing this? For what? And then the thing came out on like Thursday, Friday. It's like, nah, it's for real. And here's where it can spiral out of control. Because why? Because here's the thing, it's not just the Iranians, it's also the proxy forces. And there's going to be more blowback economically because more ships are going to be targeted. Now, here's the calculus. The calculus is going to be all right, US, if that nation there wants to respond, understand how this thing is going to get shut off. And any type of oil or gas is going to come straight through Russia. Because they got pipelines. Don't get it twisted, family. They got pipelines. Iraq will just funnel that pipeline through Iran into the Caucasus, and they're straight. Saudi Arabia will do the same thing with to UAE, and they'll go right into Iran. I mean, I don't think folks truly understand this. They have an economic bloc. It's called BRICS. Or they could funnel and pump everything through Saudi Arabia. Get it on the west side. This is now a bigger calculus because why? I would not doubt that come tomorrow, gas prices are going to be a little bit higher. It's going to have to be. I would not doubt that on Monday, stocks are going to close a little bit lower. It's going to have to be. Because why? Because now folks are seeing how these markets are getting ready to respond. You got to remember, they don't want to go to war, but they know they have to go to war. It's a double edged sword. So folks are going to go to war, and then now you have an economic slide that may get ready to happen. Oh, and on top of that, we still have the Civil War movie. I would encourage you all to check that out, that Civil War movie. So then what's going to end up happening now, you're going to have more gold being sold or propped up in the pricing. Yeah, gold was up to 2430 yesterday. And then, they artificially depressed gold. Yeah, people are going to try and cash out. Oh, yeah, I got to cash out. I got to buy goods. I got to cash out. I got to buy gas. I got to buy water. Honestly, here's the thing. To me, this is the realest like declaration of war that you can actually get from Iran. They're never going to say it. They'll never say it. But to me, this was it. What's going to happen? What's going to go on? Yeah, they know folks are going to be running to the gas lines after this because I am. I'm like, shoot, I just did some gas. Like, I may just have to fill this sucker on up. Do another audit of my go bag. Make sure I'm looking. I'm literally at my desk looking at my passport. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to Ouagadougou. I asked the Most High, Father, let me. Let me make it to Burkina Faso. And Father, I pray that I'm able to make it back. We are no longer accepting flights from out of Africa to the Europe or the US. What? Is there any way that I could claim asylum? I'm stuck. Somebody call 911. All I could think of was the Eddie Griffin line from Armageddon back in the day. Somebody call 911. Oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, I should not be laughing. But really, they did this to themselves. And, and we know that, look, they have a black man there as Secretary of Defense to do what? To take the fall. Oh yeah, them gas lines, them gas stations gonna be backed up. Nah, I'm not tripping. No, 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 no. Let me get some more cases of water, just because you want to know what's going to end up happening. Somebody's going to try and do some sort of a cyber attack or something else. They've already been saying that. They're already getting ready for that. And now you have emergency national security meeting that's taking place. It says cyber attack tells residents. Oh, this is crazy. Let me put this on out here. I'm gonna share this. I don't know the validity of this, but I'm gonna share this. I always try to give a disclaimer, like, hey, because everything is so new and everything else, like I got to give those validities, those claims. Look, this is from Express. Israel, or Eastern Mediterranean nation, shut down by Iranian cyber attack, telling residents to prepare for war. So a cyber attack has hit their websites as Iran and its proxies prepare for a retaliatory attack. And so it was by the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. That was the yellow flags. That's the IRGC. That's like their top of the top of the line force, and they've been advised to stock up on food and water ahead of an imminent attack. Hey, at least they warned them. You're giving the civilians time to operate. So now that the attack occurred, you know, now what are you going to do? Well, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to have all these. Here comes the political side of the house. You're going to have all these nations. Either they're going to condemn or they're just going to be distinctly quiet. And you know what? You want to know where it's going to be lights out quiet? This is going to be in Africa on the continent. They're going to be like, hey, ain't my problem. I'm getting my sleep. I won't be talking to Brother Mike tomorrow. Brother Mike's going to be like, Brother Karras, did you know all this was going on when I was sleeping? He said, boy, I'll tell you the truth. Brother Mike is gonna be in Tanzania. Like, yeah, the whole world was on fire while you were sleeping, laid up. Oh boy. And that's what it's gonna be like for the rest of the continent. So they're going to be asking African nations to, you know, the only African nation I think probably would, do a sellout, in my opinion, is probably Kenya. Kenya will probably say, we want to condemn this and blah, blah, blah. And to me, Kenya will probably be quiet because then it'll be like, oh no, you're real suspect, especially with them digital baby IDs. Now these folks are acting like, so you really want to do what to these kids? What to our children? After further review, after many, we have to conclude this. We need another 5 years to study. It was premature. No, and the funny thing is, Roger W brought up a great point. Yes, yeah, Zelensky is going to be mad. The president of Ukraine, Zelensky, he's going to be mad. All the attention is there with our with our cousins. Oh, I could just see this as a Steve Harvey family feud. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, everybody. We're here playing Family Feud, Country Edition. Right now, we have Ukraine and we have that Eastern Mediterranean nation that's trying to buy for 50,000 drones and other armaments and U.S. equipment. But in order to do that, they gotta get ready to go head to head in a family feud. All right, let's go. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, Eastern Mediterranean nation, tell us a little bit about your country. Uh, we asked 100 people in the African American community. The your true familiar origins. What would that be? Da-da-da-da. Gazadians. Ukraine, Zelensky, you are absolutely correct. With 59 on the board, we'll play, Steve. We will play. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, family. I shouldn't be in this type of format at 8:30 at night. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's exactly what we may joke about it, but that's the truth. Look, hey, no, don't forget about me. I need this funding. They just said, "Nah, man, all is lost. We got this operation. We got this operation full effect. Thanks for playing. You're now Putin's problem." Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Our UK folks, they're asleep because remember the rest of the world. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3:30 in the morning for them. So this to them is going to be this is going to be a truly crazy. So I'm going to be getting hit up with some, emails and Facebook DMs. Brother Karras, you see this, Brother Karras? They're going to be waking up like they were on 28 weeks later. I got up and the zombie apocalypse took place last night with them rockets. What done happened? Poor brother Asaph. He's gonna say, I turned on my telly and them fake people were getting it from Iran. You mean you all were looking at this and nobody called me? Come on now, nobody even tried to ring me up from my bed. Oh, I'm not. Nobody was trying to disturb you. Get your sleep. It ain't really affecting you like that, not yet. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be going to bed pretty happy. Man, all I can say is, wow, look how the Most High moves. His word doesn't come back void; it never does. So they got the hackers that said, and here's the thing, I don't. Here's the thing that I always hate. It's these stories that they'll come from ABC News. Up to 500 missiles. Really? No, because probably somewhere down the line, especially if you're getting this in Western media, they know more than likely the rate of what the Iron Dome and the other air defense systems can tolerate. So they give you that number of toleration because they're not going to give you the real number. And who would want to give the real number, especially from Iran? That no. To me, this to me is as a classic, and I put that in the chat right there. It's a classic disinformation campaign. You'll see these articles. Oh, it's this, oh, it's that, and oh, after that, Iran wants to have a peace deal. After that, Iran wants to recognize that. You get, I mean, it's all because at this time you're gonna have not us, but you're gonna have them panicking. It's a panicky situation. Wait a second, I didn't think that this thing was gonna happen. Why is this happening? Well, I need to get a story on out there. You got to understand the lies are now, they're going to be coming in a bigger way. And, there's going to be a lot more than that. Trust me, there is. And maybe it's true. Maybe everything's been so sophisticated that, hey, with the level of these waves, they may only need 500 to have a devastating attack. That's what I could see. That's what I could infer. But to me, what I see going on right now is really them Iranian proxies. More Hezbollah. And I would say that Hezbollah was is probably primed to where they're just sitting out there in the cut. And if I mean just me and military tactics and strategies and things of that nature, no, then this will be a time for an offensive. You got to strike while the beast is wounded. You don't let the beast recover and everything else. That's dumb. Iran showed its hand. So from a literally an intelligence standpoint, I look at it as Iran showed its hand. So now you have no choice but to have every proxy open up, because now and everything else as a movement or things of that nature is going to be deemed as what? As a threat. There's no going back from that. That's the whole setup. And if you're other nations, what are you going to do? Then you're going to start to reinforce and do all these other blockades. Because why? You're going to have to be able to insulate. Insulate, insulate, insulate. Nope. We told you. Nope. We told you. And this is what you did. We had security councils, we have ICJs, we had all these other different things, and this is what you did. I believe that they're going to get a negative response from the international community like they've never before. Oh, think the whole boycotting thing is going to look like child's play. Sorry, that was the last straw. Look, you done violated international law and norms and standards when you did that. Nobody's going to have sympathy for you. Sorry. And see, the more they get isolated, I look at it like this. I believe, to me, I believe that when the Eastern Mediterranean nation lashed out at Iran, I believe that all of the basically embargoes and blockades that's happening in the Red Sea, in the Strait of Hormuz, I believe that that's taken a bigger toll than what they were ever going to say. It's killing them. I guarantee you, it was economically damaging them. And guess what? As it's been economically damaging them, well, guess who has to then backstop? Europe and the US, the West. Especially in a time where now folks are literally getting called out. Hey, you help them, then guess what? Your stuff is in peril. Your stuff is in jeopardy. All right, you can go ahead and debark it, get it loaded back up, fly it on a different flag, everything else. We know, and we'll target your vessels. If you've noticed, they've kept the Red Sea on pause, blacked out, whatever you want to call it, since we had the when you had the Yemeni spokesperson said, "All I want to know is I'm a G." Yeah, you can't step to this. That's the Houthi. They always want to dance. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And then guess what? You didn't hear hide nor hair, but guess what? Ships were still getting messed up and they just stopped reporting. Yeah, it's been doing economic damage. They just thought, okay, we'll fight a war. We'll get the U.S. to, get us, support us. We'll just ride their backs and, be on their shoulders fighting the war. And they didn't know. They said, all right, y'all want to know about sanctions? Let me let me give you a little lesson on these sanctions. Y'all want to be throwing out this word sanctions all willy nilly. They said you want to be throwing out these sanctions all willy nilly. Like, I got some sanctions for you. Oh, I got some sanctions for you. They didn't like it when the sanctions game got turned on them. They didn't like it that the sanctions table got turned back on them. And they had an economic embargo and being sanctioned via ships. And that hurt them. Don't get it twisted. You have to see their actions. Didn't we just say this? We were just talking about this a couple of weeks before that happened. We were talking about this, and then they struck out at the Iranian consulate. Because why? Because they were getting crushed, and they still are. So, yeah, we're in some interesting times. This is a very interesting season. So Dave, I know what you're saying. It'll be like this. Some Houthi rockets knocking them ships. Doo doo. So give me that blast love. Some Houthi rockets knocking them ships. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, listen. I got an embargo going on. I got me some rockets. If you want to think you're strong, some Houthi rockets knocking them ships. Oh my goodness. They said H Town, America, yeah. I'm gonna lady, yeah. Like, man. Oh my goodness. They don't call us Houthi for nothing. We the original Arabian players. Oh my goodness. So Houthi Vandross. Oh my goodness. Yeah, family, this has been it's been interesting. Let me check these updates. Yeah, they'll probably try to shut some things down. Oh, they got something from the beaches now. Let me see this. Let me share this with you, family. Let's see how this giving you these updates.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's real over there. That now, what they don't understand is, whenever those happen, you do have latency periods. That's exactly why Iran is coming in waves. It's not going to be, you know, if anything gets hit. It's really going to be how much is going to get hit and how devastating will it be. Oh, this is on Sputnik. Let me share this. This is on Twitter. Let me share this because this is what I was talking about earlier. So Sputnik is reporting live updates. Yeah, Eastern Mediterranean nation accuses Iran of piracy after IRGC seizes ship in Hormuz Strait. I think they're going to do a blockade. I think the blockade's coming. I'm going to tell you this. These next 48 hours are going to be very, very interesting. I just showed that earlier. Yep. A lot of things are going to be going down because they'll be up in about another 3, 4 hours. It'll be sunrise there on the 14th. Oh, I don't know how they got this. I want to play this one. Let me show you this one. As I'm perusing the latest. This is really the latest and greatest. Here you go. There's something in Chinese, but this is definitely. I had to pause it right there. Do you see how many rockets are being shot? The drones and missiles. That's not dust. That's not a reflection. That's what they're living through right now. And you saw them getting on the ground, getting into their posture. It's going to be more to follow. They already said that this is going to be going on and on and on. The Rockets don't stop till the break of dawn, I guess. Dun 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 dun. Oh, it's either that or we could play. I could beatbox, jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Oh, more. Oh boy. Saturday night, I didn't think I was gonna be up. I guess Iran was listening to my show because maybe they, maybe just maybe. I'm sorry, family. I hate to do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but maybe they're doing their own rendition of Houdini. The rockets come out at night. The rockets come out at night. The rockets come out at night. Rockets come out. You have Khomeini with his Iranian breakdancers on the stage. Oh my goodness. I always feel like that there's a rocket after me. I got no room to breathe. I step outside and I see the sky, and it's brightened so lightly I can't deny. I always feel like a rocket's watching me, and I got no room to breathe. Oh, oh my goodness. Boy, oh boy. What can you say? I'm staring at the rocket in the middle. Oh, I'm asking it to change its direction because there's no GPS jammer that can get this thing off track. If you want to make a change, oh my goodness. Oh, Father help me. Father help me. Yeah, we had the final countdown too. I mean, I was coming with some greatest hits going on there. I mean, they could do Rocket Steady, steady rockets all night long, and we begin to rockets steady. Oh man, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness! I heard that was being played earlier today too. That felt like a Final Destination moment. You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the Gap Band. Oh my god! they playing they playing the Gap Band and Tehran. Oh man, you know that meme's gonna be coming out. I'm just giving some folks memes on TikTok. So I'm just giving y'all ideas on TikTok. Oh. Some from the Michael Jackson vault. Cynthia saying, I wanna rock it with you all night. Rocket the night away. If you feel that explosion in the early morning, dum dum dum. Cause it's a rocket good time. And we're gonna rock, get to the boogie. Do 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 do. You gotta get that do do do. Boom. Do do do. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I pray for Brother Karras because these folks are literally. You know what's crazy? Notice that there's like no stars in the sky. All you see is literally just the rockets. That is crazy. That to me, man, that's crazy. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So they're having all the videos on up. It's I'm telling you, it's still early. It's still very early in terms of what's happening. I I wanted to get on in the air, give you all an update, give you at least a some military and political analysis of what's going on, how things are going, what it's going to look like for the region, because it's not just going to affect the Eastern Mediterranean nation. That actually is a regional effect. It's a regional effect. And that regional effect is having international consequences even as we speak. So you think that people weren't on the dividing line? Oh, they are now. Oh, they are now. Now we can't get pulled into another war. We got this thing going on with Ukraine. Now we can't help you. I had to get you with this classic. What is it? And I ran so far away. The rocket's here to stay. You ain't running from those things. You're not running from them drones. You're not running from those rockets. They're going up to upwards of about 300 kilometers an hour. You ain't running away. You're not running away. When you see it, literally, it's too late. So, family, yeah, you can support this channel at $COVAWK because I don't know if I'm about to get shadow banned with going in on this. I don't know what YouTube threats I'm going to be getting. Oh my goodness. You got a warning. You got a strike. Oh yeah, no, YouTube's already shadow banned me. I'm shadow banned. You got to ask about me. Ask about me. Ask about me. I'm a drone hustler. I'm a drone hustler, homie. A drone hustler. I'm a drone hustler, homie. Ask her. Oh my goodness. That's what Iran is saying. That's what Iran is saying. We have many, many more drones. Order now. You get buy one drone, you get one free. Ask my biggest customers, Russia and China. If drone don't hit where you want, money back guarantee. Oh, all right. All right, family. I gotta get up on out of here. All right, till then, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom. Peace and blessings, Yasharel.